Lately, we've really been pounding the early morning sand and burning the meat candle at both ends. So this week, we're taking it easy with a short but satisfying shmorg of a bagel bite. We're annoying all of Europe with our speculations about things that are a simple Google search away, sharing some of your favorite idioms and gestalt phrases, trying to piece together the origins of Kristen's many malaphors, and shouting out the Shoebill Patreon supporters amongst us.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather. Ah! Caw-caw!
I'm nuts for nuts.
Welcome. It's a musical podcast. It's not.
It's not. Don't turn it off. Come back.
Don't worry.
We won't
We're
sing
joking.
that much. We're just kidding.
Just kidding.
Kinda.
LOL.
TTYL.
Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Stanhope.
I'm your host, Grace Beret.
Welcome.
We said there wouldn't be singing, but
here we are. I hope your mouth isn't that full.
It's about halfway full.
Halfway full. Perfect. Samesies. Because we got a little bagel bite for you. And for the listeners, spit some of that food out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bagel bite. Get ready. Get ready to bite on it.
If this is your first episode for some reason, a bagel bite is a shorter version of the episodes we normally do.
A bite-sized version.
Yeah. So we're talking about your mouth being full. It's
but
weird.
Not too full. It is weird. It's all an inside joke. We think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Other people, not so much. But that's okay.
Yeah. Our opinions matter the most.
Yeah. So anyway, we want to make sure your mouth is not too full so you can make room for this small little morsel of an episode.
Yes.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Bagel bite.
Take a bite. A little bite.
Of bagel bite.
Yeah. But they're just like little guys, so you don't need all the room that your mouth has to hold.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
The joke's less funny when you have to explain it, but I also feel like the explanation is needed.
Yeah. I guess sometimes we should explain ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like we should have explained what those segments are, and then we didn't.
And we never will.
And we won't.
We'll figure it out.
We can't.
But welcome to this bagel bite.
Yeah.
We got a couple things we want to talk about, and I'm excited for it.
Sure.
But first, I got a warm-up question.
What you got?
This is another one that can probably be easily explained, but I'm hoping you, the listeners, will help me.
People love when we speculate on things that are one Google search away.
One Google search
They
away.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we are speculating. So recently I stopped by my parents' house who still have cable. We talked about this
Good for
last
them.
episode. Yeah. Or maybe the future episode, depending on future episode. Oh! Cable TV has so many pharmaceutical commercials.
So many.
Here in America, that's legal.
Yeah.
Not so much in Europe, right? They don't have ads
I think
for...
in like every other country, it's not legal, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go us.
I just don't understand them. Like, how can you advertise me a medication that a doctor would have to prescribe me?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make... I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like, never have I had a patient come in and be like, well, I guess because I haven't worked in the primary care setting, and most of them are primary care. But they haven't been like, please put me on this weird medication for a problem that I didn't know I had.
Right? Like, doctors already hate when people like use WebMD to try to diagnose themselves. And yet we're being fed constant commercials for pharmaceuticals. So the only reasonable answer to that would be that we would see an ad and be like, I should try that.
I
Go
should
to our
try
doctor
that.
and say, hey, I saw an ad about this. Like,
I
that
want
seems like it
it.
would be really fucking annoying
Yeah.
for doctors.
Real fucking annoying. Yeah.
But that's
I
the
don't know.
system that's been created. So,
But anyway, my question is, I felt like, and this stems from I felt like that was like it. It was like tire warehouse.
yeah.
And it was pharmaceutical ads.
And like weird diaper commercials. Why are they showing babies' butts on diaper
I
commercials?
don't know. I feel like that should be illegal.
Right? If you're
I don't-
like imagine like an ad for adult diapers.
Yeah,
and
I
showed
was
like
the
an old
same
man.
as old man wrinkly butt.
Yeah, look, it doesn't drip.
And
You can see it in action.
right?
You know, it's like fucking weird.
It's weird. And they're like so cute. And you're like, well, like that's someone's child that you've put on national news.
that now pedophiles just
Yeah.
have access to babies in diapers for no reason.
weird.
Just explain the product.
Yes.
If a perfume commercial can sell me a
Oh my
perfume
God.
based on a woman
Oh my God.
shaking her hair at the beach, then you can sell me a diaper without showing it in
Yeah.
action. I don't need to see it being
Or
used.
just like do like the tampon commercials. Get
Yes.
the blue liquid
yeah,
and then pour a bunch in
yeah.
and then shake it around. I want to know if I'm going to have leaks.
Yeah.
Show me. Don't make me feel like I'm going to be a better person from buying Loves over Pampers, you know?
yeah.
I want to know what's the quality of your product.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not my warm-up
We're getting
question.
off track.
We're already off track.
Yeah.
What do they have for commercials in Europe if not pharmacy ads? You know, what are they selling in Europe? I don't think they have tire warehouse over there.
Shoes, maybe.
Maybe shoes?
Clogs.
Clogs.
Bavarian cream.
Oh, probably.
Various teas.
Maybe like a commercial on like, look how easy access our healthcare system is.
Yeah.
Fun.
We don't even need to be doing this commercial right now.
We
'cause
don't
you're
need.
you're covered.
You're covered. You got it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
Be grateful.
medications, yeah, let your doctor prescribe those
Yeah.
because we're responsible and we think that should be a doctor's
yeah.
job, not
And
yours.
not yours.
Yeah, not the advertiser's job,
Nope.
certainly.
No. I don't
Yeah,
know
probably
what,
those.
I think 80% of ads are for pharmaceutical and I get like
Bunnings, is that a store
maybe
in England? Bunnings? I
Bunnings.
think it's like their grocery store. That's probably very wrong.
I don't know what they would have commercials about if not pharmacy ads. Yeah.
This is like when
Or Amazon. So Amazon now has
Mm.
commercials too, and it's 100% military, at least for us.
mm,
And then like maybe a Viagra commercial, and I'm like,
once again, medications. Yeah.
Wha- I'm like, okay. So I guess my other question is what are the commercials on Amazon in Europe? If
Yeah.
not, do they have
If not military propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help me understand what is happening here, because I can't wrap my head. Like, do they even have commercials? Because there's nothing to advertise.
I bet they
guess.
do. Probably
Probably.
advertising like football games.
Oh yeah,
you
come
know?
watch our football.
Yeah. Come watch. Horses for sale.
Horse for sale. Buy this horse
Yeah.
on national television.
yeah.
This
Nationwide
horse-
ad for one individual horse. I don't know.
I would think like maybe in like the UK, maybe they have like butter commercials
yeah,
for
yeah.
like this is actual butter and not like butter substitute.
Yeah, they gotta sell that real butter.
Real butter
Yep.
for real people.
And I bet the Europe, yeah,
You
that's the slogan.
You can take that, Europe.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I bet the Europeans are really enjoying us speculating on this right now.
Yeah,
I bet they're certainly not screaming in their homes.
Certainly not being like these dumb Americans.
Stupid fucking idiots.
I'm just saying I'm a product of my surroundings, and I'm surrounded by pharmacy commercials and commercials for the Navy.
It's like when Americans learn about a cult and they say, oh, well, so what? Everything's a cult? Apparently that's only Americans who say that, according to the knitting cult lady who is like a
Really?
cult scholar. Yeah. She said in her comments all the time, because she talks about how different group structures have the makings of a cult. There's like 10 tenets that make up a cult.
Yeah.
And she'll talk about how all these, like AA has the cult structure and like, you know, Mormonism and all these different entities within America. And so she says she gets comments all the time that say, so what? Just everything is a cult? She said those comments only exclusively come from Americans.
Really?
Yeah. Who are like, well, what? Isn't that just like how a business is run? Where one person's the
No.
charismatic leader who brainwashes you into working
No.
past your boundaries and sacrificing everything.
Oh my
for them.
God.
So, yeah, I'm sure us speculating on what could you guys possibly advertise on, if not drugs. They're like everything
else.
You stupid Americans.
Maybe they do have a tire warehouse in Europe.
Let us
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europeans and non-Americans, write in. What do we got for commercials going on?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I could look this up. I could go onto YouTube, but I'm not.
Nah, this is more fun.
Yeah.
We got a podcast. Why not use it to make people do this unnecessary work for us?
I was like almost laughing because I was like, this is such an American thing to like. I think the Amazon commercials are killing me because Amazon used to not have commercials. And I'm paying for a service to not have commercials, but here we are with commercials.
How do they get away with that?
And then isn't Netflix having commercials? I don't know.
It depends on your subscription. Chick-fil-A, that's another place that does a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
And they don't have that over there.
They don't have Chick-fil-A. I've never been to a Chick-fil-A.
I've been one time.
Is it really that great?
No, it was fine.
All right.
And also I'm very against all their politics, so I don't eat there.
I just feel like I'm all right without ever having Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm not really into chicken sandwiches that much.
Same.
I feel like I can get a chicken sandwich elsewhere.
I'll just go to Wendy's. I got a spicy chicken sandwich.
Baxter Brewing in Lewiston, Maine has a fantastic chicken sandwich. That thing's like crack cocaine. It's so good.
So I used to feel about the Hop Daddy chicken at Sebago Brewing Company, and then they started making it really poorly a few years ago. And then they closed.
Unfortunate.
Anyways, what are we doing? Where are we?
Yeah. So non-Americans, write in. What do we got for commercials?
Yeah. What are your favorite commercials?
There? Yeah. Canadians, join in too. Yeah. Why not?
How about just every country that's not
Americans?
Yep.
Yeah. What do we got going on here? Because I'm very interested.
Yeah.
And if you live in a country that's not America that does have pharmaceutical ads, also write us in.
Yeah,
because I want to know, because I think that's a very American thing to do, is to have our nice for-profit healthcare. Woo woo. Anyway,
yeah. Also, that just reminded me, I want to make a formal apology to the restless leg community. I don't know who sent us a DM, but someone sent us a message saying, "No, it's a real thing, and I have it."
It's a real thing.
So I'm sorry for saying, "Isn't that just ADHD?" It's not.
They're comorbid.
Yes, but it's a real thing, and I believe in it, and I'm sorry I was medically gaslighting you.
I think the patients who I have met who have restless leg, it's debilitating.
Yeah.
Like you can't sleep.
Yeah, you got all those Jimmy legs.
Jimmy legs.
All right, we got to get into this
episode. It's not like, oh, sometimes I like shake my legs at night or like I can't get comfortable. It's like, it's way worse. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's a good example of the whole, like, it's normal if you have to pee throughout the day, but if you have to pee 60 times, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's like people without restless leg.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that feeling of sometimes I feel like I just need to move my legs. I got so much energy in my body, but it only lasts like a couple minutes and then it's gone.
Yeah.
But then if you have to do that all the time and you can't sleep because of it, then it's a disorder.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to like look at brain scans of the brain of someone with ADHD without restless leg and someone with restless leg without ADHD.
Yeah.
And then someone with like combined.
Both. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Maybe we'll do a dive into restless leg in the future.
I think
I never talked to someone who had it, and
I don't really know much about it other than
some of their messages was like, yes, it's real.
Yeah.
You bitches.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's
I'm sorry.
That's fair. Yeah, we're sorry.
Me. I was making a little joke, but it's real.
It's a real thing, and
you deserve respect.
Yeah. Now we've got another episode to do.
Yep. All right.
Are you ready for a little push?
Yeah.
All right. Little pushes. We got a dual push.
And this segment is just where we say an accomplishment that we've had.
It's a little accomplishment,
plish,
but it's even littler because it's a
bagel bite. Yeah,
it's a bagel bite, right? Mini accomplishment.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yes.
We have a joint push.
We do.
We went to the bank together as a
sure
couple.
Did. Yeah. Partners
for life
partners, business partners.
Boom.
Yeah, we went to the bank this morning. We met there. You got there exactly at 10 o'clock.
Exactly at 10 o'clock. Like I
got
thought
there
I would.
9:59.
Ooh.
And I was like, Kristen's going to be upset. I'm running late. And then I went in. You weren't even there yet.
Yeah. But we got there on time.
We were on time. On time is on time.
Which is pretty incredible for the two of us.
Yeah.
In the rain.
Yep.
I feel like the rain always messes things up.
I know. Nevertheless, we persisted.
Yeah. And you know what? I had a wonderful time at the bank. I was a little nervous.
I had a pretty good time.
We got all our ducks in a row for bank stuff. You got even more ducks in a row. You got personal and business ducks.
Yeah, and Ian and I have a joint account that we opened a while ago. They mailed us our debit cards in the mail. You have to activate them within a certain period of time, I guess. I think it's like 60 days.
It's an incredible amount
It's
of
a
time.
long
The
time.
long amount of time.
But however long it is, we waited even longer to activate them. And one day I was like, I'm going to activate these cards today. I was so proud of myself. Finally was taking care of this task. It had expired and I missed my chance and we had to get new cards. So while we were at the bank,
you did that.
I did that while Kristen filled out some other paperwork that we had forgotten to do.
Whoops.
And so while Kristen was filling out that paperwork, I opened my own checking account and I got new debit cards for the joint account and I'm going to activate them right away this time.
I'm so proud of us.
Yeah.
And
me too.
the lady helping us was lovely.
Yes. She was wonderful.
Wonderful person.
She kept laughing at our failures and mistakes.
Yeah, but like
Not
in a
mean
fun way. And like,
oh, you girls.
Girls.
Oh.
Just being girls.
You very, very clearly have ADHD.
Yeah. And she was very supportive. She's like, oh, you just need to do this little thing.
Yeah.
If you could just figure that one out, and the way she was able to multitask between your stuff and ours combined.
She was so efficient.
Maybe that's just how banking people are, but like she was able to multitask so much between our two issues with multiple problems.
Yeah.
And to keep a conversation running, being like, oh, Kristen, we would love to have you switch banks over one day.
Yeah.
Tell us about your podcast. And I'm like, man, she's just like good at her job.
Yeah. She was
I was
great.
impressed.
I know. She was wonderful. She made it, there was no shame. There was no judgment.
There's no shame.
She understood our struggles and she was willing to help us. Well, she didn't personally understand our struggles because she very clearly does not have ADHD.
No.
But she could appreciate that we were struggling, but we were there anyways. She was happy to help us. And now we have an official Weirds of a Feather bank account.
Boom.
We're business owners.
We're business people now.
Yeah. Business. And it's been on our list to do for like a year and a half. We finally went to the
did
bank.
It. Christopher's been up our butts about it.
Yep.
As he should be.
Yes.
That's not an insult to you,
He's
Christopher.
right.
He's right. And we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. We did a thing.
I'm proud of us.
I would go back to that bank.
Same. Just
had a great day.
out.
Yeah, just hang out, say hi.
Yeah, see
It's
the people.
great.
Yeah. All right, Kristen.
All
what
right.
else do we have on the docket?
Okay, well, I want to talk about idioms.
Please.
Because a while ago, I made a poll, a write-in one, where I said, hey, what's a common idiom that you use?
After our Gestalt language processing episode.
Yes. And I feel like some people didn't quite know what idioms were.
Quite a few people.
Quite a few people
with
the concept of an idiom and maybe even possibly made up their own.
Yes.
Which I don't think that would be an idiom. I think that would just be like a phrase that you use to mean something.
Yes.
Which almost would be a Gestalt process.
I was going to say.
You made up your own Gestalt.
Yeah. We were worried about asking people for examples of their Gestalt phrases because it's kind of something that you have to like explain what a Gestalt is and blah, blah, blah. But really, we asked for idioms and you're right. Half the people gave us what are essentially Gestalt phrases.
Yeah.
It's not a collectively agreed upon phrase that has this meaning. It's something that you individually have taken from a different context.
And assigned a meaning to.
Yes, that only you know the meaning of and others who you communicate directly with.
Either way, I love the answers.
Yes.
And I want to share some. But first, I want to just like kind of dive into what idioms are.
Please, we need a refresher.
Yeah, a little. I think we all need a refresher.
Yeah.
And so idioms are a group of words established by usage, established being the key phrase here.
Yes.
Established by the public.
Yes.
Having a meaning that's not deducible from the individual words. So like if you took this out of context and just almost like someone learning English for the first time wouldn't have no idea what this meant, right?
Yes.
So a couple examples are, we will cross that bridge when we get there. Yep. It's raining cats and dogs. Yep. So that's like a classic. So if someone's learning English for the first time, they're not going to that's going to be very confusing.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to intuit the meaning.
Right.
Just by hearing it.
Right. They have to be told what that meaning means.
Someone if someone's getting bent out of shape, that's an idiom. And then burning a candle at both ends. These are just examples.
Burning that meat candle at both ends.
Burning the meat candle at both ends, yeah. And then Christopher had to chime in on this.
Yes.
He chimes in on most episodes, but we usually keep it to our little group chat. But this one we wanted to share.
Yeah, he had some good feedback because in our Gestalt language processing episode, we were talking about the idiom raining cats and dogs.
Yes.
And like, what the hell does that even mean? Where did it come from?
Right. Well, apparently he knows the meaning offhand.
Yeah.
Just as like a random fact that he knows.
He said he went through a phase where he was really into looking at the origins of different
I love him so much.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
He's a special guy.
He's my special guy.
He's your special guy.
He's my... And this is why I love him, because who would have thought that you would go through an idiom phase?
Of course you went through an idiom phase.
And
very autistic.
I love him. So for It's Raining Cats and Dogs, he wrote into our little chat here that it comes from back in the day where thatch roofs were a very common thing. And I think they still are.
Yeah. In places that
have you seen that TikTok
thatchery
account where they replaced thatcheries?
No.
It's clearly like in the UK, and they go to all these little cottages that still have thatch roofs, and they like tell people like, this thatch roof needs its thatching replaced.
You need to rethatch this
and
roof.
they show the rethatching. It's like a huge process. They
Whoa.
got to take all like the hay off, straw, whatever it is.
I'm not on thatch roof TikTok.
Well, all right, I'm going to send you some because you're about to be. Yeah.
I think I'll like it.
I think you would too, and I think it's very informative.
All right.
We're just on different TikToks, I think.
We are. We have different For You pages.
Yeah. And let me know, listeners, if you're on thatch roof TikTok.
Yours are always so specific.
I think mine are very informational. And then some of mine are very dumb. It's like very extreme.
Yes.
So back in the time where most people had thatched roofs, during heavy storms, the roof would become so wet and weak that animals walking across the roof would fall through. So cats and dogs, probably more cats than dogs, I would assume, would fall through or rain through the roof because it was so wet. And that's where that phrase came from.
Yeah.
Which I think is really funny.
Yeah, that's a fun origin story. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, and I want to share some idioms that people wrote in or made up.
Please. So not collectively agreed upon.
Yeah. L.A. Christ came out and said, I don't really think I use them. And that's fair.
All right. Well, thanks for that feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Interesting to be like, I never use an idiom. Can't stand the things. I guess Captain Holt from Brooklyn 99, I don't think he would stoop so low as to use an idiom.
I realize I use idioms and cliches all the time.
Yeah.
I can't get by without it.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
need
have
to
a hard
compare one thing to another thing.
And I use metaphors a lot.
Yep. It provides context for people who need a lot of context.
Right. Heaven Sent One said, let's go slap the ham around. And I don't know if that's sexual.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's referring to like some sort of like ball game.
Football. Yeah.
Like
some kind of sports ball.
Yeah. Like the pig skin, like with football. Yes.
But that would be like throw the hammer, not slap the hammer. I know that slap the ham, I've heard that used as a metaphor for masturbating in the movie Just Friends, where the brother says something about slapping the ham, and the mom says, "What ham did you slap?
Oh.
I hope it wasn't the one I just bought for dinner."
That would be me.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
the mom
so it's probably something sexual.
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks
all right
for that one, Colin.
Thank you. Moonbirth Maven said, in our home we say that's so fashion, but phonetically, so it's like that's so fashion.
Oh,
I like that. That's so fashion.
Moonbirth
Maven
has reached out to us. She's going to come on an episode in the future, but
Yeah.
she responded to my Gestalt episode and said that she and her kids are all Gestalt language users.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah. So she's giving
lovely.
that is an example of a Gestalt phrase that they have come up with.
Fashion.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that. That's so fashion.
I'm very interested in like families' own little languages, you know?
I wonder what that means.
Yeah, I want to know what the meaning is.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Let us know. JDJR207 says, too many, which is fair.
All
Too
right.
many. Didn't even want to share one. That's fine.
She's got too
She's
many.
got too many.
She's overwhelmed.
Jamie, our Fernie Ceramics, she's been on our podcast before, wrote in, my 2 cents worth is pretty much the only idiom I use regularly,
Huh.
which I think is great.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
my
If you're
2
going to
cents.
have one, that's a good one.
And then Ricky Roxon wrote, she uses hustle your bustle, which is adorable.
I like that
And she
one.
says she uses this instead of God damn it, hurry the fuck up, which yeah, I like it. I like
Hustle
it
your
a lot.
bustle.
Hustle your bustle. I might have
Yeah.
to I might have to steal that from you.
No one wrote in yuck your yum.
No, no, that
You
was
your
it.
woo.
You your no,
Damn.
but yeah, that was it. I thought it was funny. So yeah, I think maybe these are idioms that I just don't know of.
I've never really heard of any of those
and
except my
then-
2 cents.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for writing in, guys.
Yes, thank you for
thanks for
Sharing.
sharing your own thing. And then, talking about idioms and cliches, I also want to talk about not the opposite, but like something similar but different to that, which is a malaphor, something that apparently I use quite a bit. Constantly, which is an unintentional combination of 2 idioms or cliches. Apparently, I just use this quite a bit.
Yes, as if you listen to the podcast, you have heard quite a
Quite
few
a
of Kristen's
few.
malaphors over the years.
And so some of these are from me, and some of these are from listeners, and some of these are just some I found on the internet. My probable favorite is "We'll burn that bridge when we get there,"
Yeah.
which is combining "We'll cross that bridge when we get there" and
Don't burn bridges.
yeah, don't burn bridges, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Burning the bridge at both ends is really
That's a good
funny,
one.
which is once again burning bridges and then burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, meat candle.
A meat candle on
Yeah.
both ends. And instead of hitting the nail on the head, you hit the nail on the nose, which is.
That's a good one.
And then Tori, one of our listeners, wrote in.
She's one of my friends. She doesn't
One
listen.
she comments.
Don't give her credit.
She comments. Her and Justin every once.
yes,
Justin,
Tori and Justin are married. The infamous Justin, who we always make fun of.
We always make fun of because he never listens, but he
Yep.
always responds to the polls.
Yes, Tori was my roommate in grad school, and she was dating Justin at the time, and so we had a fun little friend group. And now they're married, and now we can make and
Lovely.
They
We'll
both
make fun of them both,
Yeah, they both chime in to the polls, but they both do not listen.
which is
They're
fine.
really great supportive friends.
They're supportive of the polls.
Yes. But one of Tori's expressions, I made her a needlepoint that says this. She would say, "Don't count your ducks happy."
Which I don't
is-
know what that means.
I think it's don't count your eggs before they hatch and get your ducks in a row. I don't know where the happy part came from. It
I
might
don't
be a
know. I guess I don't know when you would use it in a scenario.
Yeah, I don't know, but don't count your ducks happy.
Great.
Yeah. Just don't.
A couple that I have said unknowingly is by the skin of your lips.
Yep.
Which I still think makes way more sense than by the skin of your teeth.
Well, it's by the skin of your teeth because you don't have skin on your teeth. So you're saying it's such a close call that it's almost like non-existent. That's the point.
Your lip skin is very thin anyway, and I
Yes.
think it would just make more sense.
We can't get into
I
this.
can't get into this
discussion
again.
again. We've
but
already debated this on the
You
podcast.
won't be able to convince me.
I don't want to. I like by the skin of your lips. It's creepier and weirder. I like it.
Then teeth skin? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
By the skin of your teeth?
By the skin of your lips is weirder.
Gross.
Because
Could you imagine having skin on your
But
teeth?
the thing is, you don't have skin on your teeth.
Right.
And so the metaphor doesn't really bring up the idea of skin on your teeth because you don't have skin on your teeth. Whereas saying by the skin of your lips, now I'm picturing like really gross, like flaky lips with like lip skin coming off and how thin it is.
It's so thin.
It's more visceral.
That's why it makes more sense because it's there, first of all, it's present, but it's so thin.
But by the skin of your teeth is really like, I shouldn't have made it out. It was such a close call that there was like nothing between me and disaster. And I really should not have survived that.
A teeth skin is just disgusting.
It's not
It's
real.
a
I can't. We
disgusting
can't. Move on.
concept.
Next one.
All
What's
right.
your next
and
one?
the next one is Through the Moon, which
Yep.
I don't even, I'm combining Through the Roof and Over the Moon.
Yes. Through
the moon.
Just don't go over it. Blast right through it. Punch right through the moon.
The tides are going to be off.
Yeah. Go through the moon.
Another personal favorite is Wake Up and Pound Sand.
Yep. Yep.
Which is, I don't know.
I think it's like hit the ground running.
wake up and hit the ground running.
Yes.
And then pounding sand.
The expression of like go pound sand means like telling someone to like piss off.
Yeah.
So you kind of combined, it's not two metaphors, it's one metaphor and then kind of like an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
wake up and pound sand. I like it.
And then Judy, our lovely Judy, who was just recently on, if you go back and listen to her episode, what did she say? She said, a bug in my head. So she's combining a bug in your ear
Yes.
and something else.
A thought in my head?
Something.
Yeah, something in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bug in my head. I like that one.
Weird. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are some Malaphor examples. And so I just thought it was kind of silly and funny. And
If you have your own Malaphors that you've said before, please write them in.
us
They're
in.
So
I might
fun.
have to make that a poll question.
Please.
Yeah,
I
because
think they're
really
so
funny.
fun.
Or if you like make something up, let us know.
So it's fun trying to figure out like what two ideas were combined here, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on, I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Alexa Schaefer, who writes in all the time.
Another person I have upset with
Yeah.
my strong stance.
Yeah. So she loves banana ice cream,
Which is a thing. I want to say I should get credit for saying it. It was a thing, and you said no.
I didn't know it existed. Apparently, where she's from, New Jersey.
Yeah.
It is a thing, and it's almost at every ice cream shop.
That's crazy.
Did you see the picture she sent us?
No.
It looked amazing.
Did it?
I want to try it now. It looked really good. It looked like really yummy ice cream.
Oh, I'd like to try. I'd try it.
I'd double up on a lactate pill and try that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
So yeah, we both apologize for doubting the banana ice cream.
I didn't doubt the banana ice cream's existence. I doubted that it would be good.
I think it'd be good if you mix it with like chocolate.
Yeah,
It'd be
that's
like
what I
a
was
chocolate
thinking.
banana.
Yeah.
Yum. All right, we're gonna have to try it.
I'll try it before I make my judgment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Alexa, that I made such a harsh judgment against your beloved banana ice cream.
I still will never have grape nut ice cream.
No.
My stance is strong on that, and you can't change my mind on that.
Let's do a taste test. We'll do grape nut and banana, blindfolded.
Okay,
Figure-
blindfolded.
So now you won't know which one's which.
You wanted to give a shout out to Doula Josephine.
Yes, aka Moon Birth Maven.
Oh!
Is Doula Josephine.
Lovely.
Yes. So in that message where she had written in and said that she and her kids are Gestalt learners, she said that she figured out that both her kiddos and herself are Gestalt learners after diving into learning styles and after deciding to homeschool her kids. Child development became a hyper-focus. And so she was learning all about this. She said, I did a great job and my episode was very informative. And she said she would come on in the future and talk to us about her experience with that. Because we were saying
That'd be great.
it's hard to find adults who like would consider themselves Gestalt learners.
Yeah.
And so
She's patient zero.
yeah, she's got so much to share. She wrote in, I've shared her stuff about like mushroom foraging before, remember?
Oh, yeah.
She and her kids go mushroom foraging.
Yes.
She became a doula. Like, she sounds incredible.
Oh my gosh.
But
we have so many incredible listeners.
I know. They're so interesting. That's like the best part of this podcast is just like meeting all these interesting,
All these
quirky
wonderful people.
Yeah, who are drawn to our weirdness.
Mhm.
But she also said in that message, the Wof song is our favorite song, hers and her kids. She said, we sing it when we're overstimulated and kind of took it on as our school song. Isn't that so
that is
lovely?
precious. One, we have got to stop swearing so much on this podcast.
I know.
If you have children
Think
listening,
of the children.
we gotta cut it out.
Gotta stop talking about dolphin mouth. I'm gonna have Christopher bleep that out. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. But I know, because it's like some of the stuff is probably so good for kids to listen
Oh,
to.
for
And
sure.
other stuff we're just so crass.
We
Why are we
gotta
so
rein it
crass?
in. Save it for the Patreon.
I know. I'll try. But yeah, isn't that so lovely?
That's
she's
so
She's
lovely.
like, don't worry.
Oh, that like warms my heart.
I know. She was like, we're not plagiarizing you. We kind of changed it a little bit. I'm like,
Oh,
please,
plagiarize.
plagiarize
Yeah,
us,
I'm all right with
please.
that.
Take our song.
For the children.
Pretend it's your own. Pretend you wrote it. We don't care.
Yeah, I'd sponsor a school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that so lovely?
That
I
is
love
so lovely.
the idea of them like singing our song, and it helps when they're overstimulated.
I want to give another shout out. I got a couple shout outs. One is to Ricky Roxon, who, after our chicken keeping episode, sent in like, I feel like I didn't like respond to her appropriately, but she gave me so much chicken advice.
She's a chicken lady.
She's a chicken lady. She's got a bunch of chickens.
Nice.
And so now I've got a plan for the winter. And
Oh, you
I do. Christopher doesn't know about it yet, but he'll find out. And we got a plan. So I really appreciate it. She also said that it was perfectly fine that my chickens weren't laying the colored eggs that I thought they were supposed to. It's fine. And they're probably laying the appropriate amount of eggs and everything. So I really appreciate that. So thank you.
All right. It's nice to get that feedback.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see that, like, okay, I am like doing something right and I'm not failing too much.
Yeah.
And then I have one more shout out to, remember way back in the beginning, Podloff 1.0. We got our most positive negative review from a surgeon that I work with.
Yep.
And the review was, I can see how some people would like this.
Yep.
Which is hilarious.
My favorite review.
Best review we've ever gotten.
That and the one from my chiropractor that said, certainly unique. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So I've recently come into contact with this surgeon again because he has since retired. And he didn't listen to a lot, but he's brought it back up. He's listening again.
Oh,
he's listening to some of our
around,
crawling back to us.
They always do.
You just couldn't get enough. So one, we have to give an apology because we called him a white neurotypical.
I mean, isn't he?
He is. But
so what's the problem?
I think the connotation was negative.
Well, I think that's white neurotypical's fault. You know? Make a better impression on the rest of us.
I think we understand that we just think differently.
Yeah.
And that's
it.
Your fault or our fault, and we just think differently.
It's your fault my brain is like this.
Yeah. And I'm sorry you took that the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's like a half apology, but it is.
Yeah. I'm Chris and sorry, I guess. I'm not going to apologize. I don't know this man.
He specifically said Grace owes me an apology.
I'm not apologizing. I have PDA, and the more you ask me for an apology, the less I want to give you one.
So he has started to listen again. He's liking our later episodes. He says we've definitely grown as a podcast.
Yeah.
He likes our editing and he really enjoys it. And he's been having some rough days, and he said he's been really enjoying it. So so thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for getting your wife to listen too, because now she's a listener. And I really appreciate it. And
maybe it's a lesson that you should give things a chance before you judge them. Huh?
I think he did. He listened to one of our earlier episodes, but he likes that we've grown, and he did comment on Christopher's editing that it's, the editing is an improvement, and so appreciate you giving us a second chance. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yep.
And hang in there. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And then we got a couple more shout outs.
Yeah. I want to end it with some shout outs to our new official Patreon members.
Woo woo!
We, as you guys know, we recently started our Patreon.
For realsies this time.
Yes, for reals. It's not just us talking about it.
Yep.
If you want to join,
we're doing it.
Patreon.com/weirds-of-a-feather. And for $5 and up a month, you can hear some bonus content. Christopher and I are doing a new show together called NDTV, where we're talking about our favorite neurodivergent TV characters. So you can come join and get some of that. Kristen and Christopher are going to do some scary movie recap content.
Yep.
And then we also have I have a few one-on-one interviews with like my family friends and stuff that I'm going to release on there.
Eventually, I'd like to interview some. We got lots of plans. I'd like to interview some neurodivergent healthcare workers.
Yeah.
That's on the docket.
And we're also going to cover some content that's too racy for the mainstream, like my Peter the Dolphin episode.
Peter the Dolphin's already on there.
Yeah, I moved it over to Patreon.
Yeah,
if you're looking for it.
If you're like, they keep talking about Peter the Dolphin and we don't know who that is, well, you can find it on Patreon.
It was too racy for the sponsors,
so
I had to censor myself.
No, I agree with the sponsors.
It
was
science. But whatever, I can't go down
was
this road.
it?
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of LSD-induced science.
NASA funded it, so take it up with NASA. Huh? But anyways, yeah, if you want to join, go check us out. But we have 2 official Shoe Bill members.
Woo!
We have different levels. You get different things for different levels. Shoe Bill is our $10 and up membership.
Bird related.
Yep. And so our first 2 members are Marjorie Ruiz.
Woo!
Thank you, Marjorie.
Thank you, Marjorie.
And our dear Bianca Bastoni.
Bianca Bastoni. We love her.
Yes.
And we love you too, Marjorie.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, Marjorie. Sargy Marjorie.
Surgery, Marjorie.
We just like to make a big deal of Bianca Bastoni's
She's
name.
got
so fun.
Such a fun name to say.
And she also freaked out, and she was so happy that we said her name on the podcast.
So here it is again.
Yeah.
Bianca
Bastoni.
Bastoni. We live to please.
Yes. So thank you both so much for supporting us and for joining. We're going to get you guys lots of fun bonus content that only you get to be privy to. And isn't that fun and secretive? So if you guys want to get in on that, go check us out and go join. And thank you, Marjorie and Bianca, for supporting us. We love you and appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. And if you're like, how do I listen to this Peter the Dolphin episode? Well, you can go to our Patreon and you can subscribe and you can get all of that content. If you want to support our podcast more, you can find us on Instagram. You can follow, and subscribe on wherever you get a podcast. You can follow us on. We have a Facebook group going on. We also are kind of on TikTok, getting there.
Yeah.
Lastly, there's also, you can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/weirds-of-feather, something like that. It's all in the references.
Yeah.
You can visit our website where everything is also there. Including a merch store where you can get a I'm So Quirky fanny pack. You can get a little wet front shirt.
Wet little fronts,
Little
please.
fronts. Sorry.
Yep. I got wet little fronts merch up.
Yep.
Yep.
It's about time.
I know. I need to order myself
I know.
one.
I need to order one too. I'm going to wear it into work.
I burned a hole in the middle of my shirt last night.
Well, it sounds like you need to order a new one.
And Ian was like, you should put a wet little fronts patch on that.
Oh my God. That's what we need. With little patches.
For when you get stained. Christopher, we need patches.
We need patches.
For when people have permanent
ASAP.
wet little fronts, messy little fronts, burnt little fronts. Throw on a patch.
When you get a problem with your front,
Yeah.
put a patch on it.
Yeah.
We also have weird, woof patches, right? Or we have Nucksucker patches, and we have Nucksucker totes. Probably my favorite thing that I bought for myself is the tote.
Yeah, that's nice.
Bag. It's a higher quality than my other totes.
Yeah. And we're adding new stuff all the time. So go check us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
That's it.
I hope your mouth is full.
Yeah. Now it should be full.
Better be stuffed to the brim.
Mm-hmm.
This was a good one.
Ah!
Ooh, ooh. Same, more of the same.
It was a good one. I couldn't think of another one.
It was a good one. It was like a blue jay imitating a hawk.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.